When you hear the name Hummer, a certain image probably pops into your head, right? Raw, unapologetic, gas-guzzling power. But what if I told you everything you thought you knew about that icon is about to change? Today, we are diving deep into the 2026 GMC Hummer EV SUT, a truck that's here to completely rewrite its own story.
I mean, just look at it. It's got that look, that unmistakable, aggressive stance we all recognize. But something's different. The brand that was once the poster child for excess is going through this massive change, and it all starts with the one thing that's missing: a tailpipe. And that really brings us to the biggest question of this whole explainer. What actually happens when you take a vehicle famous for brute force and completely reinvent it for an electric world? Does it lose its soul? Or does it become something even more incredible?
Well, let me tell you, GMC is being crystal clear about their mission. They're not trying to make some quiet, polite commuter vehicle here. No way. In their own words, it's a full-size electric powerhouse. They aren't toning anything down, they're cranking it up in a totally new way.
So, how do they do it? What's ticking at the heart of this new beast? Well, it all starts with the electric architecture. And this isn't just some one-off system. This is literally the foundation for GM's entire electric future. It's this incredibly flexible platform for batteries and motors that's built for power, and it's the secret key that unlocks everything we're about to talk about. So, what does that actually mean for the Hummer? For starters, you can get it with 2 or even 3 motors, which gives you incredible all-wheel drive. But here's the real game changer. With electric motors, instant torque. There's no lag. You touch the pedal and it just goes. And somehow, with all that power, GM is still targeting a range of over 300 miles. It's kind of wild.
All right, we've laid the groundwork. Now for the really fun part, the performance numbers. And seriously, you might want to brace yourself, because for a truck this big, these figures are just mind-bending. First up, horsepower. How does 1,160 horsepower sound to you? That is pure supercar territory. But it's in a full-size truck. Just let that sink in for a second.
And if you thought that was nuts, get a load of the torque. We're talking up to 13,000 pound-feet. You know that saying, horsepower is how fast you hit the wall, torque is how far you take the wall with you? Yeah, this is what they're talking about.
So, what do you get when you mix all that power and torque? You get a 0 to 60 time of about 2.8 seconds. Nope, not kidding. It's almost impossible to imagine something this huge launching that fast. So how on earth does it do it?
The secret is a feature with an absolutely epic name: Watts to Freedom. Think of it as the Unleash the Beast button. It's basically launch control. You activate it, the whole truck lowers down, the cabin fills with these cool sounds, and the system primes itself to dump every single watt of power straight to the wheels. It's pure theater, and it is awesome.
Okay, so it's a rocket in a straight line, we get it, but a Hummer being nimble? Those two words have never belonged in the same sentence. Until now. This is where the EV version just completely flips the script. It's not just a giant, it's a giant that can dance.
The secret weapon is four-wheel steer. You know how a normal big truck needs like a football field to make a U-turn? Well, with four-wheel steer, the rear wheels can actually turn. At low speeds, they turn the opposite way of the front ones, and it shrinks the turning circle like you wouldn't believe. Suddenly, that tight parking garage isn't so scary anymore.
But wait, it gets even weirder and cooler. It's called King Crab mode. Now all 4 wheels can turn in the same direction, and what that means is the entire truck can move diagonally. Just picture it, sliding sideways to get around a rock on a trail or to nail a parallel parking spot. It's like something out of a science fiction movie.
And for when you're really in the rough stuff, there's extract mode. The air suspension can lift the whole truck way up, giving you a ton of extra ground clearance to get over massive rocks or through deep water. It's literally like the truck is getting up on its tiptoes.
So it's ridiculously powerful, and it's surprisingly agile. But a modern truck has to have the brains to match all that brawn, right? And the technology inside is what really ties this whole wild experience together, whether you're on a trail or the highway.
Inside, you're greeted by this massive 13.4-inch screen that's basically your command center, but the tech is so much more than that. You've got Super Cruise for hands-free driving on the highway, a total game changer for long trips. You have Regen on Demand, which lets you use a paddle to slow down and send energy back to the battery. And of course, there are selectable drive modes that completely change the truck's personality for whatever you're driving on.
And since it's an EV, we got to talk about charging. It's got all the practical stuff covered. It's ready for DC fast charging, so you can get a lot of juice back pretty quickly on a road trip. And then for your day-to-day, you have all the flexible options you'd expect for convenient charging at home.
Okay, let's bring it all together. We've seen the insane power, the surprising agility, and the smart tech. What's the big takeaway here? I think it's pretty clear. This is where old-school brute strength smashes right into modern sophistication.
So why is this thing such a big deal? It's significant because it combines that explosive supercar performance with an agility you just wouldn't expect in something this big. It's packed with genuinely useful tech for any situation, and maybe most importantly, it completely redefines what the name Hummer even means for this new electric age. Which leaves us with one final big question. By pushing everything to such an extreme, has GMC accidentally created the new blueprint for what a flagship truck is supposed to be? Is this wild mix of immense power and surprising finesse, is that the future? It's definitely something to think about.